Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about real estate wholesaling. So honestly, real estate wholesaling is one of the easiest ways to get into the real estate industry. You don't need much money down. You don't need a certificate, a license. You just need to really be able to put in that work. So real estate wholesaling by definition is basically just getting a property under contract, marketing that contract, that property, and then assigning it to a cash buyer. It's a little bit more difficult than this just because a lot of scenarios do come up. Every property is different. No property is going to end up being the same. No property is going to be as easy as it should be. A lot of things come up, and I'm going to try and, with this page, I'm going to try and explain different scenarios and different things that may happen. That way you're aware of what to do, how to do it, and whatever the case may be. So I'm going to give you like the perfect world scenario of when everything goes right and everything is perfect, and then on following videos I'll show you when different scenarios that may come up, either with title, with the cash buyers, with the sellers, whatever the case may be. So in this perfect world scenario, let's say you're driving around your town and you find this really distressed property. This usually means that, it looks in pretty rough shape, glass is broken, doors are boarded up, grass is overgrown, whatever the case may be. It just looks like it needs a lot of work inside and outside. So with this, you're going to get that address. You're going to go on truepeoplesearch.com. Once you go on True People Search, just input that address. It's going to give you their contact information. So again, for a perfect world scenario, True People Search gives you the correct information, which isn't usually the case. So now that you have this contact information, you're going to call them up. And I'll attach the script below. It's linked in my description. It's linked in my bios. It's basically going to tell you exactly what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. So you're going to tell them that you are a cash investor in the area and that you're interested in purchasing their home for a fair cash offer. So you're either going to get a yes, no, maybe. If they're saying no, just move on. Usually, out of experience, when they're not motivated, more problems tend to come up. If you're just forcing them to sell their home, it's not going to work out. If they're saying yes or maybe, that is a motivated seller. That's who you want to go for. Once you have this motivated seller, you're, again, in the list that I've in the script, it's going to tell you to ask about any major repairs, anything that has been done to the house, the general condition of the overall house. Once you have this information, now it's time to get it under contract and give them an offer. So getting an offer is not too hard. You basically have to start by getting all the comps in the area. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. The comps are usually also called the ARV in the investment world. So the ARV is basically what the price will be after it's finished, after it's in good condition, perfect condition. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and find out all the properties that have sold in 6 months to a year, that have the same square footage, that have the same bedroom, the same bathroom, that kind of are similar to the home that you're trying to get under contract. Once you have this number, now it's time to kind of do some simple math. You're going to subtract the rehab of the property. Now again, you're not a contractor. There's websites online that give you rough estimates by square footage. Like if it needs light rehab, it's like $15, I believe, or if it's medium rehab. I'll try and share something that I saw before. I'm not 100% sure, but you can also get a contractor to come out for a free quote. That's usually best because now you have an actual quote from a contractor of how much it's going to cost to rehab. So after rehab, you're going to subtract your assignment fee. So your assignment fee really ranges on how much you want to make on the property. And then after the assignment fee is how much the investor wants to make. So if it's a flip, they typically want to make at least 20, 30, 40, depending on where you are and how much people want to make. But I would say aim right at the middle of an investor that wants to flip, wants to make at least $20,000 or $30,000 on that flip. So now you have that ARV. You're going to subtract how much you want to make, which is usually between 10 to 20. You're going to subtract the investors $30,000 that they want to make flipping the home, and then you're going to subtract that rehab amount that you got from the contractor or from an estimate online. Once you have this number, this is how much you are going to offer the owner of the home. This is how much that you're going to give him for his house. Again, this is kind of when things get murky a bit because you'll, again, get a yes, no, maybe. If they say no, now it's time to negotiate the price a bit. If they're way too high, if they're giving you ARV price of what they want on the property, then it's not going to work because that's how much an investor wants to make at the end of the day. And let's say in the perfect world scenario, they say yes to your offer. Now it's time for you to do the work. Now it's your turn. This is your property now. Now you have to post it on Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Connected Investors, Bigger Pockets, Craigslist, the list goes on. You have to post it everywhere. Make sure it's out there. That way now investors can contact you, cash buyers can contact you. I recommend joining every Facebook group in your town that involves real estate or cash buyers or investing, because this is the best way to find those really good investors and cash buyers. So now that you have a cash investors, they're going to start contacting you, they're going to start texting you, and they're basically going to tell you either three things. They're going to want to see the property, they're going to want more information on the property, they're going to have 100 questions, or you might be lucky in a perfect world scenario. The investor wants to buy it sight unseen, and it happens. You know, if the numbers really make sense, an investor is going to jump at the opportunity. But usually they'll want to come by, see the property. Again, I didn't say this before, but take pictures of the property. When they tell you the general condition of the property, ask to visit the property as well. Go there, just check certain things. Take pictures of like the HVAC, take pictures of the boiler, take pictures of anything that you feel is important that an investor should know when purchasing the property. If you can't get into the property, you can always ask the owner to send you pictures of the properties themselves, which shouldn't be too hard. But a lot of the investors are going to ask you to see the property, so you have to put that in mind when you're talking to the homeowner, that you're going to have inspectors, contractors come by to the property, or your investor partners, or whatever the case may be that you told them. It's all in the script as well. So now it's the investor's turn to give you an offer. So investors are business people. They're not going to give you the price you want first thing. They're going to try and negotiate. They're going to try and lowball. But again, back to the perfect scenario world, you get a full price offer. You get a offer that you actually like, an offer that is profitable. Even perfect world situations, you get a bidding war. An investor against an investor, and the price just keeps going up and up and up, and that means your assignment fee is just getting bigger. And this happens. All of these situations do happen. It just, if the property and the numbers make sense, investors are going to jump on it, because this is how they make their money. If they know it's profitable, they're going to be able to do everything and anything to get that property from you. So after you have an investor and they want to give you an offer, now it's time to send them their contract. They're going to sign it, and now you have to go send both contracts to title. Title handles basically the rest of the entire transaction. They'll email you here and there for certain things that they might need from either you, your seller, the investor, but they are usually really friendly and can help you throughout the transaction of everything. In certain scenarios, title companies may screw you over, which happens. You know, not everyone is familiar with assignment fees. Not everyone is wholesale friendly. So I do recommend either posting on Facebook groups, like a wholesale friendly title company, and see people's referrals or recommendations on title companies that they've worked with. Also call them up. Call every title company and say if they're assignment friendly. That way they're able to understand what you're trying to do and not screw up the deal, because it's not for everyone. So once they have both of the contracts, they're going to handle it on their part. As soon as it closed, title is clean, you are now have to choose between getting a check or getting a wire transfer. That's that. You get paid and you're all set. The homeowner gets their money, they're happy on their way, the investor gets their property, and they're going to start rehabbing it, whatever the case may be, and you got the remainder of that balance. So if the property sold for, let's say that you assigned it for $200,000. You sold it for $230,000 to the investor. That $30,000 check or wire transfer is going straight to you, and you know that's pretty much it of the transaction of wholesaling. Now I think a lot of people's question is, what happens if I can't find an investor? What happens if I can't find a cash buyer? And you'll see it on my contracts. There is either, you can write it down, is 30 days or 60 days, depending on the contract that you use, of where you can terminate the contract, where you can cancel, where you don't have to go through with it. You have an inspection period where you can always call up the owner and be like, oh, I'm sorry, it just didn't work out, you know, and you're done. So hopefully this answered at least a little bit of all your questions. Like this was just a general walkthrough of what happens in a perfect world. A lot of scenarios do come up, a lot of situations do come up. Not every property is the same, not every homeowner is the same. So you will get easygoing properties that sell just like that. You'll get properties that don't ever sell. You'll get properties that have liens. You'll get properties that have issues. You'll have unexpected issues come out of nowhere, unexpected title problems that come out of nowhere. But it's really just, you just have to put in the work and get the experience, and once you do 1, 2, 3 properties, you kind of get to know what to look for. You kind of know what happens before it happens. And this is the best way to do it, is just to get your feet wet, just to go for it. You have nothing to lose, in a sense that you can always cancel the contract. You don't have to have the property. You're not going to buy it at the end of the day. So you just have to go for it. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment. Just ask the questions below. I'll try and answer everything. I'm going to continue just to make videos that kind of bring up certain situations that might happen. If you guys have any questions about the realtor world, I recently just got my license for that too. I feel like getting the best of both worlds, both in wholesaling and in real estate as a realtor. So if you guys have any additional questions, you guys have my social media accounts. You can message me directly. You can comment below. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and I hope you guys like this. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.